Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to my channel. This is your girl, N.HARV, aka N.HARV, and we are here in 2023. The first video in 2023. I am looking forward to being more consistent on my YouTube channel. But before I get into goals and expectations, I wanted to address the elephant in the room and say that, yes, you saw the title. I moved to DC. Yay! I am officially, as we know, those who have been a fan or a consistent viewer of the channel, I am a native Angelino to the bone. Born and raised in Los Angeles. I love LA, but I recently moved to the District of Columbia. So I just wanted to share why I moved, because in the upcoming videos, you'll see more excursions and just travel and more vlogs, really, about my time in DC. Reason number one why I moved: I needed a change. I love LA. LA will always be one of the best cities in the world, but born and raised there, I've gotten used to just how things go. And I felt like I was reaching my peak career-wise. I love entertainment. Of course, Hollywood is there, different aspects of music. Not that I'm in that industry per se, but I do love that because I'm a writer. So, I love TV shows and just creative people in general. But what I envisioned for myself just wasn't happening in LA. And I started to really switch industries. My dreams and aspirations of becoming a famous writer, I don't know that they were canceled out, but they were definitely put on hold. And I'm okay with that. I am definitely okay with that because I am finding more satisfaction in writing books, writing educational books. I just pivoted. No longer do I want to only write, TV scripts and movies and things of that nature, like be a part of Hollywood in that way. I want it, don't get me wrong, but no longer do I only want that. I actually would also enjoy traveling the world, talking about the books that I've written. So the dream sort of pivoted, and I'm cool with that. So being in LA no longer was like in alignment with what I wanted to do as a career. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying to say, because I'm thinking beyond Hollywood and thinking beyond entertainment, I no longer had to be in the center of entertainment, right? I can travel, I can live elsewhere and still have those desires and still be in the mix because of, one, social media. It really does connect people. And 2022 actually also taught me that it doesn't matter where you live, you can still be a part of any industry. Like when we were all at home, we were literally all at home. So the world didn't stop moving in the sense that all jobs stopped. We just went virtual. That year actually was really confirmation for me, because I've been thinking about leaving for a while, but 2020 was really the year that I was like, okay, Naila, it's time to go, because this year is teaching you so many things. One of those things is you don't have to be here in order to make impact. You don't have to be in the Los Angeles in order to be a writer. Yeah, so that's number one. I wanted a change, and 1A, if you will, is I pivoted with my desires and my aspirations. I'm embracing authorship, and I don't have to be in Hollywood or in the LA area in order to be an influential author. So yeah, reason number two why I moved specifically to DC is because you are now looking at a doctoral student at the illustrious Howard University. I am in a program there, Ed Leadership, that is, and the program is in person. So even if I wanted to stay in California, I couldn't. Not if I wanted to be a part of this program. And for me, little old me, who is born and raised on the West Coast, we don't have any HBCUs in California outside of Charles Drew University. And that's more so if you're in the medical sciences or like the health fields. That's not my field. I'm in education. So I didn't have any options with regards to HBCUs. For those who don't know, HBCU stands for Historically Black College and or University. I mean, I was only looking at HBCUs. And the doctoral programs that I was interested in, only a few schools had them. Howard was one of them. And quick story time. A few years ago, like almost 2 decades ago, about 17, 18 years ago, I used to live in DC. I had an internship at the, the US Department of Treasury. And I went to Howard's homecoming all those years ago. As a little girl, I was maybe a sophomore in undergrad. So, I was a youngin'. And I said, whoa, you talk about an experience of all experiences. I had a blast. I went by myself because I didn't know many people here at the time, but that never stops me. I'm pretty bold in that regard. And just like to see all of these Black people doing well, enjoying themselves, smart Black people, like all in one setting, one place at one time, having a ball. I said, oh yeah, sign me up. I don't think I was ready at the time to attend Howard or to stay in DC and not go back to California. I was only like 20 years old. So I just wasn't prepared just yet to, live somewhere else, live outside of my state. And even though my job, they offered me a full-time position, I said, no, let me go back to school. I was attending the University of California at the time. I said, let me go back to school, get my degree, because I already started there, not thinking that I can transfer classes. I was one track minded. I already started there. Let me just go back and finish. But I said to myself, if I ever get the opportunity again to come back to Howard, I will. So while I was looking at other HBCUs, I started to reflect on my visit at Howard Homecoming. What was that? Around 2005 or so. And I said, you know what? I think it's settled. I want to go to Howard. But I think it was just the memory, the nostalgia that I held close to. And I said, yeah, we're doing Howard or we're doing Howard. Okay, those are my options, Howard or Howard. And thankfully, by the grace of God, great mentors and I guess a great interview and just a great application, I got in. I got in actually last year or the year before last, 2021, but I deferred a year because, again, I just don't think that I was mentally ready. I love LA. I wasn't ready to move. I was ready to move, but I think I was scared. That's what it was. I was scared because I left LA for a season and went to Korea. And of course I lived in DC, lived in Oakland for a season. I always came back. So I guess I didn't trust myself to live there full time or just to actually move, not just move for an internship, but move. And wow, I am admitting that online. Yeah, I was afraid that it would fail and I would have to come back or go back to LA. And I said, I'd rather just stay and not leave. You know how that works when you are fearful. So you just don't act at all because you feel like, well, if I just stay, then I don't have to run the risk of it not working out and me tucking my tail between my legs and coming back. So that is, I think that along with some other things, it really held me, or it moved me to defer a year. And then last year came around, 2022, and I said, you know what, Naila, go for it. It's now or now. Again, those are my options, now or now. And I went for it. I said, if it doesn't work, we're still going to give it a year in DC. But I wasn't really banking on it not working. I think I was finally mentally prepared, physically prepared, spiritually prepared to go. I said, there's a chance that it may not work. I may not like it. That's what I mean by it may not work. I may not like it. But even in that, I am good with going I got to know that I can do it. I don't want to have any regrets. I'd rather go and not like it than to not go at all. That's just the way that I think. So I packed up my bags, moved to Beverly, as they say. Last spring, DC opened its arms to your girl. And it's been an interesting ride so far, but I love it. I do. Last year was tough. It was a lot of adjusting going on. New city, new school, back in school, in my late 30s. What else? Just new home, new everything all at once. So last year I had to really get situated. This is why I'm recording this video now in January 2023, even though I've been here for some time. It was a lot at once, but I'm so glad that I bet on God, I bet on myself, and I said, let's do this. I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and I am here for the long haul. And lastly, the third reason that I moved to DC is because I wanted to expand my network. LA is like a melting pot, different people, different industries, and that's great. But I started to get into the mind of like policy and change, making a difference, making an impact outside of entertainment. Because as we know, with social media and with movies and film, there is that type of influence, like entertainment influence, which I love. Again, maybe it's the Angelino in me, I don't know. I love it. But I also wanted to go back into the educational, specifically K-12 educational system, and I wanted to make change in that industry, or in this industry, because I'm currently in it. And when I started to think about impact and change and influence, I love influence, hint hint, my book, Bookfluence, how to write a book to position yourself as a leader in your industry. When I started to think about influence in the educational realm and just in this space, I kept thinking about policy. And part of my, well, you don't know, but a part of my doctorate degree is in policy. And I'm like, okay, where do you go to expand your network and to really be amongst policy, and just those who are interested in that type of work? Policy. Hello, DC. So it was more than just Howard. It was just DC in general. So yeah, I am currently living my dreams, and I'm so grateful to you guys for your patience as I'm trying to figure out social media and the way that I want my page to go. Now that I have a lot more to offer, I don't only have to talk about books and grammar and writing. I can also talk about going back to school, as a grown-up. I can now talk about being a doc student, a Black woman who was pursuing a doctorate degree, so many things. And I'm still fine-tuning my niche, but for sure on this channel, you will still continue to get writing tips, specifically book writing tips. And I am adding some, leadership and doctoral content as well. Stay tuned. Thank you for checking out this video and watching this video. Make sure you subscribe so you won't miss any other videos, and I will see you in the next one. All right, guys.